Gema constituency in a ward called Murogo, in stream 2 of 2. And this document is overlaid over some documents, but look at the left-hand top corner. It is overlaid over a document written Jose Camargo. Jose Camargo is one of the Venezuelans that was arrested at the airport with charges of coming to interfere with the elections. He is one of the people that the last Mahat has said did not have access to the RTS. This form is in the official portal of IEBC. The question would be, was this document photographed by a presiding officer at Gasharaigo Primary School, sometimes possibly at 8 o'clock in the night? Or is it possible that this document has been photographed elsewhere in some office and uploaded? This, we ask the court to read the DCI report regarding Jose Camargo, and we believe, my lords, that these are the fingerprints of one of the suspects of the theft of this election. That is all.
Good morning, my ladies and my lords. I will pick up from where my learned colleague and senior Mr. Paul Mwangi has just left off. The court had asked that we demonstrate with examples in real time how the Form 34A was interfered with or could be interfered with. And I will do so showing you or using the IEBC's forms itself, straight from the IEBC, from the IEBC portal. My lords and my ladies, I will walk you back through the form that we have just showed you. I see that the court has laptops, which means you're tech savvy, and you can access the IEBC portal right now. This is going to be a live demonstration as the court asked that we do. I'm asking that we go to the forms portal in the IEBC. We are projecting it up so that it's not said, because we have been accused of cooking things, forging things. We've been called many names. This is the IEBC's own document. We're asking that you open on your own devices, but even as we show, Murang'a County. Kangema, Moguru, and Gasharaigo Primary School 02. This is live. My lords and my ladies, we have downloaded a Form 34A from the IEBC portal. And I'd like the court to just scrutinize this form before we go to other details. from where I am, the stamp. The stamp. My lords and my ladies, is that the IEBC stamp? It's on the IEBC portal, looking like it's been superimposed over another stamp. We have been asked to show how are the figures changed. The votes. Now, my lords and my ladies, if we look at the votes cast, the first figure on the form is for Raila Odinga, 55. It's followed by William Ruto, 260. It's followed by, I think that's Mwaure Waiga, 001. And the last is Wajakoya, 000. If we sum up the total votes, we get 316. The total votes cast according to this particular form is 321, different from what we have just seen. The rejected votes are 4, which means already by calculation there is a problem. But we'd like the court to look at the total number of registered voters. A close scrutiny of the form shows that the number was probably 455, and the 5 is actually similar to the figures written in the votes cast. But somebody or somehow that figure has been changed to make it look like 488. It is obvious to the naked eye when you look at that form. Now, when we go to now the bombshell itself, the top left-hand corner of the form, we were told by my colleague, Mr. Gumbo, there were no foreigners in this election. We were told the foreigners left before the 8th of August. We were told they did not even have access to maintain the server. This is on the 9th of August, and at the top left-hand corner there is the name of one of the Venezuelans, Jose Camargo. This is the person who decided the president-elect of the country. It is on the IEBC portal. It is live. How did that come there? What are you doing? This person is the one who was interfering with the forms. We are able to demonstrate, at least a crumb was left. By God's grace, we found something. We didn't make this up. We were told we forged these documents. Now, this is how, my lords, the staging was happening. This is how the changes were happening. This is on the 9th of August. We were told they were not there. I'm going to do, because of time,
with your permission, Your Ladyship.
I beg your pardon. In our petition,
You let her finish and then you tell us what it is. They're responding.
It relates to an objection to what she's doing, Your Ladyship.
No, let her finish.
My ladies, my lords, that name, Jose Camargo Gregorio, appears in our petition and is also, that evidence is also found in the affidavit of the second petitioner, one of the people whom we complained about as having interfered in the election and who were told had no access. My lady, we're going to take you again on the same IBC Live portal to show how the staging was happened. And because of time, if we can go to Bungoma. We want to do it live, and we're doing it live on the IBC portal. My lady, we were told about the KIMS kit and how they work. The serialization of the numbers. We have been told that each of the 42,201 KIMS kits that were used in the election had their own unique KIMS kit ID and serial numbers. Bungoma County, Mount Elgon, Chesikaki, and Songoyiwa. We'll download the form. The nomenclature of the KIMS kit and the form is shown at the top on the address bar. And for purposes of time, my lady, what we're told, it will show you that that's a Form 34A. It will give you the serial code of the polling station from which that Form 34A relates, and then it will show you the KIMS kit serial number or ID. There'll be a date stamp and a time stamp. What I'd like the court to focus on is the serial number, and perhaps because I can't see from here, this is where I would have liked the court to have its own, but maybe if it can be. Do you have a roving mic? Now, the serial number on this particular form, my ladies and my lords, which I would have liked for the court to confirm for itself. If somebody there can, may I ask one of the court assistants to read for us the serial number as it is, so that then I'm not accused of making up things.
That's all right. It doesn't change anything. Evelyn, could you read that?
The number that starts with F2, it's in the middle. Or can I read it myself?
I can't see it. The one on top.
Yes.
PR06.
No.
Oh, sorry. F2.
My ladies and my lords, what would require is that you note down that number. We will compare it with another later.
It reads F2 3045 0M 00204 133.
The time, please. It's right next on the date.
That one. The time is
The date on which
9th August 2022 at 19:56.
we'll check another form. Nyeri? Nyeri Town? Gatitu? Morogoro? Thunguma Primary School? Stream 3. Kindly read the serial number.
F230450 M00204133.
And the date and time, please.
9th August 2022 at 23:49.
My ladies and my lords, this is the same KIMS kit transmitting or sending results, one from Mount Elgon, 1,000 kilometers away from Nyeri Town. 2 hours later, how is that possible? When each KIMS kit was supposed to have, each polling station had its own unique KIMS kit, which was supposed to transmit from its own unique IP address. Because of time, I cannot demonstrate the thousands of forms that we have identified with the same issue. My ladies and my lords, this is how the staging or the complaint that we raised happened. We did not give this court a fiction. What we gave the court happened. Now, staging, and as we have shown, the 11,000 polling stations that we had complained were staged were transmitted all from one IP address. Every KIMS kit was required to have its own unique IP address. The only way 11,000 KIMS kits or results can be transmitted from one IP address is if they were collected, and as probably my senior Paul Mwangi had. May I have, I beg your pardon, my time is up.
Yes, 2 minutes.
Yes. My ladies and my lords, the manner in which the election was stolen, the reason why staging was necessary was forms were intercepted like this. Whoever intercepted them then had time to decide which ones they could manipulate before uploading them and sending them to the IBC portal. The other reason that we know there was manipulation is because the original Form 34A is a colored form that should have appeared at the National Tallying Center if transmitted in one transaction as a colored form. All the forms that are on the IBC portal are in black and white. At what point were they altered from JPEG to PDF? When did that modification happen? And what other modification was done to the form? We submit to you that we have shown that not only was it possible, it did happen, and the fingerprints of those who interfered in the systems are still there. Thank you for your time. I don't know whether to be that generous. I donate the 29 seconds to the court. Thank you very much. At the insistence of my seniors.
May it please the court, my name is Kirago Kimani. My learned friend, Mr. Katua Kigen, had gotten the attention of the court, but was asked to wait until Ms. Soweto had completed her presentation. I would wish to respond to what she has just addressed you on, because this is new material, and would like to have direction.
Mr. Kirago?
Yes.
When, I forget his name, Mahat was answering the questions, he did the same.
Yes.
He went through his PowerPoint.
That's correct.
To demonstrate.
That's correct.
How this staging was happening, because we asked that we be explained.
Yes.
How the forms were being captured in the hair.
Yes.
And being changed. And he did that.
Yes.
Going back to what he had done.
Yes.
So what is new here?
What is different is this. You have a petitioner and you have rules that say how they are to present their case.
This was answering a question from court.
Yes. Where does the first respondent have an opportunity to address these matters? At what point in time does the first respondent get a hearing?
This was a question by the court to demonstrate.
Yes.
How this was happening.
Yes.
What we do with the demonstration. Mr. Mahat on your side did demonstrate. They have demonstrated.
I appreciate what your ladyship is saying, but Mr. Mahat, with respect, is not on our side. He is a referee. My client was a candidate. We are not on the same side. We may be respondents, but he called this match, not for us, but as required by the Constitution.
Mr.
But anyway, the long and short of it, yes.
I'm
the long
sorry.
and short, yes.
We are not going to give you time.
Much obliged.
Yes, thank you. Proceed with, there were responses from the other petitioners. I'm beginning with number one, the same order we followed. You have responded. So who was next? It was, I think, Senior Counsel Jan Mohammed was her client. The same order we followed so that we don't waste time. If you can't use the 15 minutes, please.
Ladyship, Madam Deputy Chief Justice, my lady and my lords, I was very generous in my opening, so I'm sure I'm going to be just as generous and patriotic as I am in my rejoinder. I was the first one to donate 7 minutes in my opening.
Okay.
My lady, on behalf of the petitioner, in number one, that's the second petitioner, we had filed a rejoinder of the submissions after our original submissions. And my lady, the petitioner's case is very simple. All it was the petition was limited to a legal issue. It was the role of the commissioners vis-a-vis the chairperson.
I saw people murmuring, and I want to get this correct.
I'm sorry.
Is it that we should then, because I thought you had a response, you had any question to answer?
In fact, my lady, the question I'm going to be answering is actually the rejoinder as to the role, as the answer to the role.
For purposes of orderliness, because we are trying to get our proceedings as orderly as possible, then we can start with the rejoinder by the first petitioner, then the others will answer the questions with their rejoinder.
Because my actually rejoinder is the response
Is
to
the
the question
response.
of what the role of the other commissioners was vis-à-vis the chairman and the commission. That's
Okay.
what my entire
So then
petition
we
is based
start
on.
with the main petition.
That's
their
fine.
rejoinder. Then we
That's
come
fine.
to you. I'm sorry about that.
That's no problem, my lady. I'll still donate my time.
Yes. Senior Counsel Orengo, it's your turn.
I'm just wondering, because if I heard the court correctly, there are some questions put to Mr. Mtata.
They will respond with their rejoinder.
With a rejoinder?
Yes.
Oh, okay, then that's correct. In our rejoinder, Madam Chief Justice and members of the court, we'll have 4 in our team giving the rejoinder. Senior Counsel Firoz Norji, Senior Counsel Otiende Amolo, and Senior Counsel Philip Murgor, and I'll have 5 minutes at the end. But I'll begin with Senior Counsel Otiende Amolo.
If it may please your ladyship, this honorable court, I will be brief in this part. I will cover only 3 quick subjects, starting with the issue of the 50% plus 1. Your ladyship, this honorable court, may it be noted that the question of the voter turnout in this election is a moving target. It is a moving target depending on who's speaking and in what circumstances. If you look at the replying affidavit of the chairman, paragraph 30, as of 9th of August at 5 p.m., he says the turnout was 64.6%. That is an affidavit he's swearing way after the fact. The director of elections of that same date, at that same time, in paragraph 21, that is Moses Nkuli, says it was 56.17 at that same time, looking at the same Kimskit. It will be noted by this honorable court that at various times, the IBC gives different figures. At one time, it uses the figure of 65.4%. At another time, it uses the figure of 64.6%. It is our submission, my lords, my lady, that the premise upon which IBC proceeds is wrong, and that the reason for this moving target is so as to manipulate the question voter turnout, to come to a conclusion that the 9th respondent met the constitutional threshold when they didn't. I wish to submit, your ladyship, my lords, that Article 138 is very clear, and the total number of registered voters must be specified, and that is the denominator.